loud like that. And then the variation number 2 is called thumb brush, which you see it just has a single note followed by 3 of the chords, and that single note is the note D. So that would be with your thumb, D, and then 3 brushes. That would be for a song in 4. And number 3 is the same thing for a song that has 3 counts, which is boom, ching, ching. Let's do that one. And this is probably one of the easiest ways to make a song more interesting, is to alternate between the bass note and the chord. So while we're doing that, let's try it on another chord that we know, like the G chord. In that case, this low string is your bass note. That's the low G. Okay, and then for your E chord, the open E would be your bass. Looks like the right shape, but not the right sound. This one should be on that string. And if you do the same one for E minor, just lift your index finger and it will still be the E for the bass. So the C chord.
Put this over here.
And then the one your ring finger is holding down, that's the note C, so that would be your bass. And remember the A chord. That's one with 3 in a row on the 2nd fret. That would use the open A. Didn't learn F yet.
A minor, D7?
Yeah, A minor would be also the open A. And then any of those D chords we learned, the D7, the D9, those would all have an open D. So let's go back to the D chord for a minute and try number 4, which is it's like number 2, but instead of going boom, ching, 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 it's going boom, ching, ching, hitting the bass note twice. But we're counting to 4 now, so it's thumb, brush, thumb, brush, thumb, brush. Okay, and then the next level after finding your bass note for a chord is finding the alternate bass note, which is 5 away. So D, E, F, G, A would be your alternate bass note for the D chord. So they're doing it in number 5. First they do a D, and then an A, D. So we're alternating the bass by keeping the chord. You hear this a whole lot on the guitar. Number 6, they show how to do it on the G chord, because we can't go down to a lower string on the G chord. G is already the lowest note, on the lowest string. So for that one, they're playing their alternate bass, the 5 from G would be G, A, B, C, D. So they're going back up to the D string. Boom, D, low G, and then the D string. So the low string, and then the D string. Probably the trickiest because you have to skip 2 strings. Most of them are on the adjoining string, either behind it, lower than it, or above it. Like in the D chord, we can go down to the low A, but it turns out that if you go the other way, it's a different A. So you could go either way on the D chord, to 1 string behind it or 1 string in front of it. That makes a nice variation to go back.
You can straddle it,
Yeah. So we'll do some more alternate basses next week, but let's do the rest of this sheet today. Number 7, they have a funny marker there that looks like a bracket. That means down. And the one that looks like a V means up. So on number 7, it's with our code words, that would be drum, Tarzan, Tarzan, drum. Drum, Tarzan, Tarzan, drum. But strum-wise, it would be down, down, up, down, up, down. Down, down, up, down, up, down. And, well, actually, the first note is the open D. D, down, up, down, up, down. D, down, up, down, up, down. And number 8's a variation where they do the open D every 2 beats. So it's D, down, up, D, down, up. Or you could do the alternate bass. I think it's very pretty. And whenever you use this index finger in your nail, you're going to get a nice bright sound, especially if you have steel strings.
I can't make noise on the up.
Okay. That's okay. You don't have to make as much noise on the up because that's considered the weak beat. It's like
Oh, okay.
strong, weak, strong, weak, strong, weak. So mine is kind of muted on the up too because I'm not using my nail, I'm using the flash. And often when they do down and up strumming, they'll strum all the strings going down and then just some of them coming up. So even if we weren't using that, if we were just using our fleshy part of our finger, it's going to be softer.
Okay.
And that's why when you want to emphasize something, you use a downstroke. And they almost always do it on the first beat. That's the strongest beat of the measure of when you put songs in. Count them out. So number 9 and 10 are very fancy, but we're going to try them. Number 9 is called the blues finger strum. And I think I can tell from what they're doing. You see they have some notes and then they have a little X. The little X represents muting the guitar. And it has a rhythm of like dee dum, dee dum, dee dum, dee. And then it's gonna go let me get a chord. They're doing E chord. Down, up, mute, up, down, up, mute, up, down, up, down, up.
upstroke in 9. Are you reading that in the notes? Because you're stroking
Well,
up.
it says index finger scratches a down up pattern. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it would be too busy with everything else.
A down
I
up
wasn't
pattern.
scratching myself. I was using the thumb, but you could do it that way. And the last one is called a calypso. And it's going down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up. So they're saying sweep down, which is with your thumb, on 1, scratch. Sweep down on 1 and scratch up on 2. Brush down on 2. I always get mixed up when he talks about brush and
Sweep.
sweep, I think, is the thumb, and then brush is brushing
All the
something
fingers.
off their fingers. Brush down on 2.
Brush
and
is the thumb and sweep
scratch.
is the fingers.
Up and down. Woo. I think he's saying down, down. So he's doing the first 2 pulses down with the thumb, and then all the rest is scratching, basically. And he's doing it on a C chord. So that would be down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. So kind of pause a little after the down, down, up, down.
Sounds like you're to Day in the Life.
It is. Thumb or pointer or anything like that. So little things like that can really make beautiful guitar parts, especially like for intros and stuff before you start singing. It's nice to do something a little more rhythmic. Maybe you won't be able to sing and do these things at the same time at first, but these of course can be used on all the chords that we know. And here's a song. We're going to focus on the G and the D chord tonight because we just learned the D. Remember I said to practice going from G to D. And then we're going to do one with A and D at the end. So, I don't know if you know who Hank Williams is. He's got a great recording of this song, but it's so old that it was before people tried to tune to the piano or to whatever else. So his guitar is tuned to itself, and it's not in tune with ours. And a lot of old recordings are like that. It sounds like G, but it's kind of like a little bit over G or a little under G, and you can't quite play with the recording.
Does he also sing, "Hey, good looking, what you got cooking"?
Yep. Which is why when I first got a turntable, I got one with an adjustable speed so that I could tune it to my piano if it was out of tune. So this would be a great one to do one of those strums with. I would recommend playing your bass note G and then the little down up with the index finger. And then you can do G again or do the alternate bass. So because you're going to play each chord in that first line twice. So it could be like, goodbye Joe, I gotta go, and then the D chord twice, my Lord. And do the alternate bass. Down on back to the G chord, body, my people, the sweetest one. twice. It kind of reverses the pattern. D twice. D twice. D again. And G twice. Second verse. If you don't want to know, this is buzzing. Kinfolk come to see one by the dozen. Dressing style, grow hog wild and be gay-o. Son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. Jambalaya, crawfish pie, filet gumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see my share of Rio. Hit guitar, fill jar, and lead decor, yeah-o. Son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. Now, solo G, G, two G's, D twice again, and two G's, G twice, D twice. Back to G. Jambalaya and a crawfish pie, filet gumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see my share of Rio. Pick guitar, fill fruit jar, and be gay-o. Son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. And then they made an ending which was different than what they did through the whole song. D D G G D D G G.
Oh, right. For the ending.
Interesting. Anyway, this one is on the DVD, but it's done by Karen Carpenter,
Oh.
and it's really pretty with flutes and stuff. It doesn't remind me of this song very much, and it goes a bit faster. So I'll save that for, you can do it at home.
That's pretty.
Cool. And you sing that pretty good. You get the timing.
Well, G is my key. If it wasn't the key of
Oh.
C, I would have really been struggling. And that's another good reason to know how to switch keys. See, this is in the key of G and it has a D chord, so that's a 1 and a 5. So any key that you know in a 1 and a 5, you can play this song. So you could play it in A, and what would be your 5 chord? A, B, C, D, E. Yeah, so we could have gone. Okay, what if we were in C?
G.
C, D, E, F, G. So if the song doesn't fit your voice, you just find those same chords relationship starting in another place where it will fit your voice.
Gotcha.
And that's one of my favorite reasons to change key. It turns out that most songs either go from do to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. That would be your low note and your high note. And so for those songs, for me, the key of G is good because G is a good low note for me. But if the song goes from 5 to 5, Cause sometimes they go 1, 7, 6, low 5 to high 5, the melody will span that instead of going from 1 to 1, then a different key, then the key of C would work for me, as long as it doesn't go any higher than high the 5, I can sing in C. So it depends on the song. You may have a couple of good keys. So, the next song is a real challenge as far as how fast it changes. And it's also D and G. Backwards of the other one, we started on G and went to D.